Hey, 6 people. That's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can't get
Yeah. I don't know when my dinner is, so I might go like halfway through.
5187 is gonna be on.
Okay. Well,
What are we talking about? I don't know.
Well, first of all, let's just get everything out of the way, okay? Welcome to the 7th, 8th. I'm not sure which episode this will be when I upload it. Of
We
Ashes to
skipped
Ashes.
5.
Yeah, I know we skipped
Yeah,
5,
this
but we've
is
already
7.
uploaded 6. So
Yeah.
We can just do 5 now.
Yep.
we could do
So we're
5
going
now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 5. Okay.
That'd be funny. Of Ashes to Ashes, okay? We got, Joe Stain, Kirby B, Iris, Sam, Thomas Milk, rather, and Slothman.
Yeah.
Of course, myself, you know who I am. We're all here.
No, we don't. Go
Well,
ahead.
doesn't that add to 7 when there's only 6 of us here?
Huh?
Doesn't that add up to 7 when there's only 6 on call right now?
What are you
The
talking
hell are you
about?
talking about?
What?
You said
But
6
the-
people's names plus myself, or is it just me being stupid?
Why?
If you look at the top of the
Yeah, he
Discord
said
call,
Thomas Milk.
there's 6 heads there. You can see you got
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but you
thought
said
you
Thomas
said
Milk.
7 names. I
the
thought you said
Joker
7
one
names,
there
that's
on the
all.
very left, and then we got Mr. Grin Sunglasses Man, you, Thomas Milk, myself, and Slothman.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay then.
So do you know what our first topic of today
Talking
is?
about?
All right, Iris knows. It's the evil eye.
Oh, that topic.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Do we all have any experiences with the evil eye that we want to share? Just
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Before we
I don't
do
know.
that, can you please explain what the hell the evil eye is?
yeah, sure thing. So the evil eye is a very common superstition worldwide, which is that giving like a malevolent gaze or like a death stare at someone can actually cause that target to have bad luck. And there are certain
That's
charms
bullshit.
and rituals to like mitigate the bad luck and to get rid of it. It's bullshit. Well, you are the skeptic of the podcast, so you certainly are allowed to
I
believe
am.
that.
I
Luck
am.
is a socialist construct.
Socialist construct.
A lot of things are social constructs.
Like luck,
Yes, that's
strength,
entirely
perception,
possible.
endurance, charisma, and intelligence are also social constructs. Agility isn't though. That was given us to by God.
No data for Australia.
Yes, this is So this shows how many people, like in each
Shut up.
country, percentages believe in the evil eye.
No
So
data.
you can see that it's pretty popular, like in different places around the world.
As usual, nothing for North Korea.
Yep.
Nothing for Australia too.
Yeah, that is kind
That
of
one's
weird.
interesting.
There was a simpler graph that showed like general folklore, but it didn't have as much like data and shit
There's
around
also
it.
none for like Canada.
Yeah, none for Canada. Yeah.
It's a very odd graph to say the
And this is just like a yes or no if belief in the evil eye is common. I don't know how reputable that is though.
Did not see anybody in Australia.
Huh?
So nobody in Australia believes in the evil
Yeah,
eye.
because they'll try to talk to oh, do you believe in the evil eye? I was like, yeah, no, mate, yeah, no. One time Danny looked at me weird and he died in the car crash the next day.
Like the belief that everyone's like a witch or something. That like just from a stare they just curse you with bad luck.
Says who?
Every woman is a witch.
You're
And
a witch.
apparently every
You're
man-
a witch. Everyone's a witch.
Yeah, she gave me the evil eye. I stepped in shit today. She needs to be executed. It's
Ah,
bad
yes.
luck, I swear.
I got turned into a duck.
I was turned into a sloth, half man, half sloth.
I was turned into milk. Now I am Thomas Milk. I got the short
You were
end of the
bitten- you
stick.
were bitten by some radioactive cows.
Yeah.
That's his origin story,
And I got-
people. Someone put that on the Ashes to Ashes wiki. Anyways,
Freak accident between a fucking chemo ward and a dairy farm.
so before we continue with the evil eye, what color is everyone's eyes?
I don't know. I can't see them.
Same.
I believe mine have.
Yours are what? I didn't get that.
Shut up. Nobody's eyes are hazel. It's the people with brown eyes wanting to feel special.
Oh, see, no, that's the thing. Hazel isn't brown. Hazel is like a weird gritty
Ooh.
blue mix, and it's annoying.
Send a photo. I
right,
won't put
yeah.
it on the
Nothing.
podcast. Just send a photo of
Hazelnuts are
yourself,
brown.
and we'll see what color the
Hazelnuts are
eyes are.
brown.
So what? Hazel is
hazelnuts
clearly
are brown,
referring
and
to
I-
a different color. I mean, does it matter whether hazelnuts are brown?
Yes.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Exactly.
Ha!
Kirsty is
Hazel's
right.
a lighter yellowish brown color. I
Oh.
was right.
You still said brown though.
Send the photo of your
Fucking
eyes,
God.
Iris. We'll see what color they are.
Yellowish brown.
Oh, okay. I
Don't worry, I won't put
think I
it on
have
the
a photo of
podcast.
my eyes somewhere.
You have like a million photos of yourself. I saw them on the group chat. Remember?
Yes, but
Yeah, 'cause
none of
Iris
them have a
always
good
has
shot
the
of my
most
eyes.
Oh yeah. Whatever. We'll see if you got something. In the
Yeah,
meantime,
the person who's named after part of it.
Yeah, so if that's like the chart we're going off, I guess I have hazel eyes.
all right. I have
Cause-
pretty brown. I'll have like really, really dark brown eyes. They're not like
Yeah,
black,
same
but
with-
they're pretty much like the closest thing to
Hmm.
Yeah, mine are
darkest
pretty
brown.
dark. I'm like a brown, like between normal brown and dark brown.
Yeah. What about you, Thomas Milk?
Why are you brown?
That's just like, I guess my eye color is just, it was just passed down to our parents, the dominant gene and shit.
What are we gonna do? Like start excluding people because of their eye color?
No.
Oh, wait, shit, that already happened.
Okay, well, the reason I ask
I
is
forgot
because
to learn about history.
in some variations of the evil eye superstition, people with blue or green eyes are much better at delivering it because they got like more, piercing eyes or whatever. I don't know.
It's not a-
Apparently, green eyes are like really uncommon.
They
Yeah,
are
they
green
have-
eyes are only
like
2%
having
of
Depends
the
where
green
you
world
eyes
are.
is
population.
really
It
uncommon.
depends where you are.
Yeah, well, like green eyes are common in your homeland of Ireland.
No, not
leprechaun.
really.
Ooh, pot of gold.
I'm an idiot.
Getting a good picture of an eye is really hard.
I've got a few here. I'll borrow any.
Now, you might be thinking or wondering, what does defend against the evil eye, right?
Not having eyes.
That's a
Not
good
being
one.
able to see
Yeah.
the person.
If you don't
What happens
know
if you like
someone
don't see the person? If you don't know someone's doing the evil eye, how will you like know that you're getting bad luck?
Well, I mean, that's how most curses work, right? Like, if a witch wants to give you a curse or something, they have to actually say it. They never just like do it and then don't say anything, because like they rely on your belief and shit. They don't actually use magic. They just want you to think that you've been cursed, so like you actually believe in it, and then you start seeing like negative things in your life. You start looking out for what the effects of the curse could be, right?
Yeah, but see, it is in like pop culture and things. It acts differently because like witches and things just like say, "Oh, I'm gonna put a curse on this person," and then it just directly affects their life. But usually the curse is
Yeah, in the real
like
world, where
fiction
like
and stuff. Not in the real world, but like in the fantasy or something. So I
Like
guess it's fantasy.
Kirsty Hammy Haas.
Yeah, they're like
yeah, exactly.
it's
In
very-
the real world,
it's
curses
very
are
easy to see
psychology.
what it-
They're just 100% psychology.
And
Isn't
psychology is
everything that we talk
applied,
about just-
chemistry.
psychology.
A lot of things we talk
Yeah.
about are psychology. In
We,
fact,
we
this
just
could
we
be a
just
psych
end up talking
podcast.
about schizos, and like that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So that's another tip, okay?
Yeah.
If someone curses you, it's not real. Like, don't believe in it, and you'll be dispel the curse. You know.
Yeah, it's like cyberbullying, and just close your eyes.
Just turn off the curse.
All right. So your eyes are pretty clearly like green or blue, or
What the fuck? They're grey.
My eyes are an enigma on their own.
Enigma.
They cement. I poured cement into my eyes.
Like I said, that's a bad picture. It's taken by a terrible camera, kind of off lighting.
and then what? Now, other than that, though, other than like just don't believe in it, bro. There is another like thing that a lot of cultures use to defend against the evil eye, and it is this: the Nazir
Bluest
charm.
of blue eyes.
Oh wait, that's from Binding of Isaac, right?
Whoa.
No,
It is
no,
in
no,
It
Binding
looks
of
like a
Isaac,
target
yeah.
thing used in archery.
I think.
In between his
Oh.
references.
Wait, Nerzo charm. Nerzo,
No, what's
Yeah.
with the in
Wait.
between his references?
like Nizar.
That's all I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, the Nazir charm, yeah.
Yeah, that's from like. I don't know that from Terraria.
Yeah, it's also in
Good damn it.
Terraria. Yeah, it's reported
Yeah,
to protect you
it's-
against the evil eye, and in Terraria, it prevents you from getting the blind debuff. It like prevents you from getting that. In the Binding of Isaac, it actually increases your luck a little bit. So you
Well,
know,
I guarantee whoever perpetuates this whole evil eye shit sells these things.
yeah, probably. However, the evil eye actually
Kinda hard
originated from ancient Greece, right?
I
And
don't know.
well, that's what I can find on it, like online through research. And the person who actually helped to spread it with their culture was, well, can anyone guess?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Romans.
Idiots.
It's sort of like one person, but it's also the people traveling with
Romani.
him and shit. Alexander the Great,
Oh, for fuck.
as he moved to like the
Yay.
a bit of the eastern stuff, and then of course it sort of spread on its own from there.
An idiot.
So that's the origins of the evil eye.
Ooh.
There are some other superstitions in different countries. I know that some people in like I can't remember where they hang peppers off their car. Let me see if I can find that.
Probably
Hold on, I
Russia.
gotta season pass so I don't get like a curse.
I'm just trying to find it right now. I mean, yeah, I can find some with like the chili peppers, and they got little eyes in them themselves. It's kind of weird.
Hmm.
All those things.
Yeah, and there's these things as well, right? I guess they're like a variation of the Nazir charm.
Jesus Christ.
Finally,
Imagine looking at these and thinking, yes, I need these to protect me from curse.
cursed tea.
Yeah.
Finally, there are some other rituals which like are pretty common, such as throwing salt over shoulders. That's like a really common
Ah,
one.
yes.
And yeah, you're familiar with it, Iris?
I am familiar with throwing things over your shoulder in general. Seems to be
Yeah.
very
It must be
used
symbolic for
to ward
something.
off stuff.
That's a
Hmm.
bit cheeky.
I guess it could represent like leaving it behind or something.
Bye.
All right, see
Yeah.
yourself, man. And of course,
They
in some cultures, there are like very secret and protected incantations, which are supposed to like protect you against the evil eye, and only a few people can know them at a time. Now, whether these actually exist or not, could they just be the placebo effect?
Yes.
Mandela effect.
I don't know.
Yeah,
no,
Mandela
it's
effect.
not the Mandela
no,
effect.
no.
No.
So that's the
Oh
evil
no,
eye. Now,
no.
Oh no.
in conclusion, what do we all think about it?
I don't think about it.
Okay.
That's
Everyone else?
how.
Isn't that what you said about curses? You
What?
just don't think about them, so you
Yeah,
can't
you
get them.
don't think about it, and then it doesn't affect you.
Yeah, that's right. If you don't
I'm
think about
sorry?
it, it won't affect
Interesting
you.
that it's so widespread.
It is
Well-
incredibly widespread
Except in
because I think
Australia.
the reason why it's so widespread is because it's easy to accept. Like, you don't like it when someone stares at you nastily. No one likes that. I mean,
Yeah, so you just like tell them to
I
fuck
like
off.
it when people
Like,
stare at me nastily. It means I'm getting on their nerves, and usually I'm trying to do so if I get that stare.
I just stare back.
Yeah, just have.
that's a power move. You give them the evil eye back.
And I
bet they
always
cancel each
win
other
the
out or
staring
something.
competition because they started before me.
They stop staring at you instantly when you pull out your dick.
Helpful.
You sure that doesn't make you sure that doesn't make them think you're a pedophile?
Bruh.
Why are you
Why?
accusing
You think
children
they
of
Why
stare
would
at
they
you?
ever think that?
It could,
You know what
usually
people
like it's old people who stare at you. If you whip your dick
Yeah.
out at them, why would they think you're a pedophile? If you like whipping them out at an old person.
In year 10, like, an old lady said, "Oh, you're listening to your music too loud," and I was like, "Fucking shut up!"
That's an incredible story.
Like,
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I was listening to fucking, I don't remember what it was. It was probably some fucking bullshit. Like, I was wearing shitty headphones and they bled a lot.
Hmm.
Like, she tapped me on the shoulder. Keep listening to your music too loud. You'll go deaf by the time you're 20. And I'm like, okay.
I am 20.
What's 9 plus 10?
3.
21.
I don't get it.
What?
Neither.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I
it's
don't
like
know what
this
you're
reference to
talking
a popular 6-second video called The Vine. Basically,
Can we talk
what
about
hap-
that?
Yeah,
Yeah, can we
sure.
talk
So
about-
what happens in
What is
it
a vine?
a vine it's like a video around like 6 seconds in length. I think they're between 6 and 15 seconds. Really popular. It was a social media platform. Basically, they had to be humorous in that amount of time, and the vines would like loop over and over again, and that would determine how popular the videos were, like how many loops you got. The 21 vine is basically this guy is filming a kid in the dark, and he says to the kid, "You're stupid," and the kid says, "No, I'm not." The guy responds with, "To prove that he's stupid, what's 9 plus 10?" And of course, proving that the self-fulfilling prophecy, he says 21. So to conclude, the guy repeats his previous statement, "You stupid." That's the whole essence of the 21 vine. It has nothing to do with the paranormal.
I don't know.
Nothing
Like
to do.
Sounds
a
pretty
dude
paranormal.
standing in the dark is pretty paranormal.
Actually,
It's like
it does, because there was an
Jabba-
urban legend that
a Jewish
21...
thing. Jabba.
I don't know. There was an urban legend that 21 kid ran away. Does anyone remember that?
I
Ah.
remember.
I'm sorry, you heard urban legends about
The 21 kid ran
It-
away because like
um,
everyone was making
There was
fun of him.
less an urban legend, more a rumor, and
Well,
then they're
yeah.
like, "Yeah, he didn't."
He didn't actually
And
run
he's like,
away. He was
still here.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the end.
That is the end.
Nice.
it's
Moving
the
on.
end of the world as we know. Sorry.
That's copyright. We're gonna have to censor that.
Just
Kick
edit
her off
that
the
out.
podcast so she doesn't do it again.
Surely we can't be copyright striked because I only did it for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, she was just
Well,
singing
yeah,
as well.
but
It's not like it
then
was a
again,
real
it's
song.
Paris. They sing all the time.
You want to talk about something
I've
really
got-
paranormal?
I've got a joke for you guys, actually.
What?
Alright.
Okay. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Oh no.
Interrupting cow who?
God damn it.
Interrupting cow who?
I didn't think you got it right.
I think the
No,
joke is that it doesn't interrupt.
Damn it,
I
Mom!
reckon as soon
No, the
as
joke
like,
is that-
Mojo speaks, interrupt.
Currently interrupting the stream. So
We're gonna
the
forget about
recording.
it, and then he's gonna go moo like sometime in the middle of the podcast. I bet. Watch. He's not gonna say anything else, or he's gonna continue talking as normal, and then he'll do it.
I'll give it a couple of minutes.
Okay, well, until
Oh,
that joke
We
pays off,
continue and then get
yeah, let's
interrupted.
just continue on.
Well, it won't be a payoff. It won't be that funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry for predicting the joke because now I've completely ruined it. But let's talk about
Okay.
our second topic of
Do
the
it.
day was tarot cards, but I kind of don't want to talk about it without 5187 here. I'm Bell here, so
Hang on. I messaged you earlier.
Tarot cards?
'Cause I just did a sneak slide into DM.
Oh,
Oh no!
Yeah.
cheeky, cheeky.
I'm making my move.
Oh, get in.
Bust out the I'm gonna bust out
You fucking ruined it.
bust out the when you ask for like
God damn.
what to.
Kirsty, no, you ruined it.
You ruined it.
Oh no!
I don't want to be
come on,
friends
said
with
that
you
wasn't the
anymore.
point. What the hell?
All
Who
right,
was
so
it that
is
sung?
Bell actually
Snow
showing
Halation
up or
again?
not? It's called Snow Halation, yeah.
I don't know.
All right, then forget about the
phone's
tarot
on,
cards. We're
looks
going to
like
talk about the Dyatlov
But so
Pass
she's
incident.
still fine.
And this is an unsolved mystery. I know this is a favorite topic of our listeners, but they don't really get to hear many of them.
Yeah.
So the Dyatlov Pass incident was an incident where 10 skiers went to a skiing trip like in Russia somewhere, right? In the
A ski-
1950s.
A cross-country trip. Jeez, get it. Your facts
Cross-country
right.
trip. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
get it right.
And then only one of them came back, and the other 9 of them died, and they all found their corpses. The one who came back
How is
was
it unsolved if I found the corpse
because they don't know how they died. I'll get to that part in a minute. Okay.
starvation?
No, there was like I said, I'll get to that part in a minute. The only person who came back was someone who felt sick and then like went home on the way there. Then there were 9 people left. And it's not really known what happened to these 9 people during the skiing trip, but they found about like 5 of them completely stripped naked, no clothes, piled up in the snow. And that doesn't seem too abnormal when you consider that the other 4 bodies were all had like their clothes on them. So clearly, like, those people must have died first. They said, we need to survive, let's put on their clothes. And, you know, like, put them on. Right? That's what I think at
Isn't
least.
it also a symptom of hypothermia?
Yeah,
It
an
has
effect of
almost something to do
hypothermia
with
is that you
hypothermia
strip down.
because... Yeah, maybe. The other 4 people
They
were
found it-
found, like, kind of strewn around. Some of them were hanging from trees and shit, but not, like, hanging, like, by a noose. Just, like, kind of hanging from there. And all of them had immense, like, wounds and fractures on their skull, which suggested heaps and heaps of pressure. But this is the unsolved part. That pressure should have been applied to the rest of their body as well. As in, like, there should have been some sign that they were hit by this massive force. That was, like, almost enough for a truck or something. However, the rest of their
It
bodies
was
was fine.
Inhuman.
It was inhuman.
Whatever
So it's just like an avalanche.
impacted them.
Just an avalanche.
They were only
Except
impacted in the
for-
head. The rest of their bodies were fine.
Avalanches didn't happen in the area.
They were hitting
They weren't properly buried for an actual proper avalanche.
And they couldn't be hit in the head
There's
by
a lot
another
of
human or
them.
something. If they were hit just in the head by anything with that much force, anything, it would show up in the rest of their body as well. Somehow. Or it would tear their head clean off. Depending on the angle, of course. So,
Yeah, and I don't know if you're getting to this part, but it was either their clothes or their bodies. One of them was unnaturally radioactive.
No, that was just the general area. The general area was radioactive.
Yeah.
I didn't know
Only
that part.
slightly,
Wow. Yeah. Okay, there we go. And it's
just the idea that one of them, like a hidden contestant, like a game show, one of them is radioactive. Let's find out who.
that's good.
Mrs. Stewart patrolling the area, telling people how to code. That the pressure in their head is just their brain expanding with all the coding knowledge.
So what do we think happened there? Can anyone really know?
Where was this?
Like Russia somewhere?
In Russia.
Like Russia specifically, or modern day Russia? Where?
Kinda
1950s.
1950. So whereabouts?
Like in
Like,
Russia somewhere. I don't know
Dyatlov.
exactly where. Just look up Dyatlov Pass and see where it is.
All right. Do
We'll put a
everything
little
like
map on the podcast for everyone to see.
Hang on. It is in.
Russia.
Yeah, no shit. But
Oh damn! One of the search members
Yeah, it's in the
died
middle-
like
it's in the middle
5
of-
days ago. Ripped to Mikhail Sharovin. And the funeral is like probably live right now. Not that we're going to attend it or anything. Like, yeah, ripped to that.
so what happened? So there's like significant pressure applied to their heads.
Mm-hmm.
Only a couple of them. Yeah,
Only
the
a
fun
couple.
thing is like there was things done, but not to like them as a whole. A couple of them had this, a couple of them had that, a couple of them were there, a couple of them were here. Like it had spread out of effects to them and a spread out of where their dead bodies were, which was also kind of annoying to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the general consensus here is like, oh, aliens dumped them before various experiments.
I mean, who knows what
I
it could be?
think that-
There's so much vague information that we can't
Yeah,
really
there's a
tell.
lot.
One of the
Okay.
theories is that an experiment
Alright,
is being covered up in that area. Yeah.
Occam's razor. Russians, the liquor, a bear. Yeah, a look.
That is the most disappointing fucking thing I've ever heard from you on this podcast.
Look, everything in Russia happens because of the liquor and a bear.
Except for wildlife isn't very commonly found in that area they were found. Yeah.
Have you
Wait,
seen
have
a
I been
bear?
recording?
I mean, it's entirely possible. You know, this could be something normal, but I mean, some things that are normal used to be paranormal. You know what I'm saying?
like washing
a
your
woman.
hands before surgery and germ theory and
Well, yeah, those are my
Magic.
favorite
Well, that-
examples. My real favorite examples are like, predicting the weather or when an earthquake will happen or something. Used to be magic men who could do that shit, but now it's just like everyone.
Okay. Then when's the next earthquake gonna happen then, George?
I got to get one of those those seismometers. Is that what they're called?
The best we can do is around 14 seconds,
We
which
can
is
still
worse
predict
than
it,
dogs.
right?
Worse than dogs.
You're worse than dogs.
Oof.
Ah,
Anyway, there's another one. There's a solved mystery. It's called the Death Valley Germans. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Is this another
That
meme?
sounds interesting.
No, it's literally not a meme. This group of German tourists coming from Germany, where else? Went to Death Valley, shockingly. In like this rent-a-hole van, like it's a rental van, something for like roads and transporting various amounts of furniture. But they went down to Death Valley, and they're like, "There's a part you can drive around in, and then there's the beyond where like, okay, if you go out there, yeah, no promises, you're gonna die."
Sorry, I
So they
shouldn't
went there
laugh
and
at
died.
that.
We're in a van. It's a pretty big car. We can probably take this out like further than the guards told us to go. So they start driving. These are a man, a woman, a young child around the age of 6, and an infant.
Hmm.
Ooh.
So they just start driving around Death Valley, and it's like, yeah, this is Guten. Death Valley looks like a hole that we also have in Germany or some shit. But the car breaks down because they've just been pelting rocks at the axles and shit. It's like 8 hours. So it's a black van. It's like, okay, they should probably get out of this thing before it cooks us alive. So they get out of this thing. They're like, where are we? Because they're in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of like probably the most inhospitable place on planet Earth.
That's a bold statement. Sorry.
What?
I mean, yeah, it's called.
It's a
It's
bold
not called
statement,
Death
Zane.
Valley for nothing, you know.
Yeah, it has death in the name.
A lot of places have death in the name.
The soil in
sure.
Death Valley is sterile.
Damn. All right.
There's nothing living on it. There's no life out there. So anyway, the Death Valley Germans like, well, we're in the middle of nowhere. We can't really call it. So, well, that's the part that we found out after the fact. All they knew was there's a van, bunch of Death Valley Germans. They'd completely disappeared off the face of the earth. They found no traces of them apart from the van. They just drove. They found the tracks. They found the van because it's not hard to spot from like up the cliffs or whatever. And then nothing. No footsteps. No nothing. And they're like, huh. They just disappeared off the face of the earth. Where have they gone? So
Do you see-
for about 2 years afterwards, it's like on and off investigations. Like, oh, could it have been murder, kidnapping? Maybe they were rescued, didn't tell anybody, and it's fucked off back to Germany. Anyway, this one guy hears about it. Him and a bunch of friends like, huh, let's go check this out. But they came prepared. They came in like all-terrain vehicles and shit, so they wouldn't die out there like the Germans. They started searching out a greater perimeter, and eventually, like they rounded, I don't know, a corner in Death Valley. I'm not particularly familiar with the topography. They rounded a corner or some shit, and they saw like a military base, like way into the distance, and they thought, huh, neat. Can we look that up? Turns out it was like a radio array that the U.S. Army put there. They put soldiers there maybe 2 days a year to check everything up, make sure nothing's dead. Then they tell them to fuck off. They use like satellite arrays and shit. Anyway, so when the Death Valley Germans got out of their vehicle, they started walking in. They started walking in the direction where they would find the military base. And about halfway along that track, the guy and his friends found several broken bottles and some plastic. And they're like, these are bottles and plastic. Obviously, there hasn't been some kind of sterile soil party out here, and they're not completely drunk off their ass, you can tell. So they probably put these here, if not anybody else. So they inspected the bottles more thoroughly, and they found it was a brand of beer that I think was Austrian, which was close enough. You know, yeah. Where's Austria? It's near Germany, isn't it? Yeah. I think
You
Yeah,
can
pretty
travel
much,
through
yeah.
like all of Europe in one day. I swear,
like,
it's so close
It's
together.
like, okay, this is pretty German. It's almost there. It's about as German as Hitler. So like, okay,
Hitler was Austrian.
Yeah,
No.
that's the exact
I
point.
said it was
That's
Austrian.
the joke.
God damn it.
Still.
I don't
Bruh.
get jokes. Especially from him.
Keep going,
Anyway.
keep going.
So these Death Valley Germans, they clearly sat down, had a few pints, and kept walking. Now, at this point, the Germans would have seen the military base, and not knowing how things work in America, this was a military base. There are obviously people there.
Well, duh.
That's a good place to go, but they weren't. It was a satellite array. That was mobile, and they just built it, fucked off. So they started making their way to it, and the guy and his friend said, "Okay, they probably went this way." This is like 8 years after they disappeared, so
Okay.
so they just kept going. They kept going along that path, and eventually they found more like scraps of cloth and shit, like real definite signs of human activity and human bone, like this little scraps of it. But obviously they couldn't do any DNA testing because it was completely bleached by the sun over 8 years. But it was an infant skeleton, so like, okay, that checks out. Something died here. Mark this down on the map. Keep searching around. So they kept searching around the perimeter. Found another massive array of bones, also known as a skeleton. Fun fact.
Oh.
They took a look at it and it's like, okay. But by this point in the investigation, like they got sheriffs down there. It's like, oh yeah, this is a female skeleton. You can tell because it's got bone tits.
You don't know what the difference between a female and male skeleton is, do you?
Extra.
They've got bone tits. Yeah.
God, no.
And they're like, yeah,
No,
this-
no.
this is-
All right, out of
yeah, they
curiosity,
do.
what
Shut
is
up.
the
do not.
difference
They-
between a
they do.
female and a male skeleton?
I think females
I
have
don't know, George.
extra
What
ribs.
is the difference?
Female skeletons tend to have bigger hips.
They also,
Why?
I think they have an extra rib.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
They don't.
Damn, really?
Yeah.
Is that a myth?
Why would they?
Why
Because-
would we have an extra rib? If anything, we would have one less rib.
Why?
Fine.
Why?
Did I,
What?
did I just get debated?
Yeah.
It's a thing from the Bible.
Okay.
Oh,
no.
like,
yeah.
total-
I guess I do have more ribs then. Because, the good old Yahweh was like, yeah, I'm going to create two humans. But and then later on, it's like, okay, I need to create one more. But this time, I'm going to take your rib. Don't
Alright,
ask me why.
Here's
Sort
a
of
source,
secret
okay, from
project,
healthline.com. It says that that they both have the
They're
same.
the same number of
Yeah.
ribs. No shit.
Alright, look, it says it's a commonly held misbelief, alright? You gotta forgive us for that one.
Yeah, the Bible has a lot of them.
Well,
What ribs?
Yes, ribs.
People.
yes,
Yeah,
the Bible is just full of ribs.
It's
Wet
everywhere.
ribs and dry rub ribs.
Ribs. All it
Oh,
really
please
is.
continue with the Death Valley German story. I'm invested now.
All right.
I'm not.
So they found the woman's skeleton. They're like, okay, this is another skeleton. Probably belonged to a person
Someone
at
else
some
died
point.
here.
No, probably. You never know. They did CPR whatever they could, and turns out she'd been dead for about 8 years. So like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. So they kept walking, and eventually, a little bit closer to the military base, they found a male skeleton. Like, like a skeleton.
Astute observation.
Find another pile of bones. Ooh, looks like another skeleton.
Yup.
So as it turns out, the Germans that had been stuck in Death Valley for 8 years were dead.
Well, yeah, that was to be
Surprise.
expected.
I like the
Yeah,
story,
that-
but what about that was paranormal?
Yeah.
Uh, put the bones there?
That's how their bodies. That's how
So,
their
like,
bones.
what actually happened to them, though?
They
Salvation.
I mean,
wandered in the desert, died.
They must have died from like
Right.
either heat stroke or like running out of water or something.
They
Yeah.
walked into the desert. and
Heat
died.
stroke, dehydration, or starvation are like the main causes.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Anything, really.
Well, can't really die from starvation if you die from dehydration first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ooh,
they
died
from
found-
alcohol
they
poisoning
found the
as
skeleton.
that
Once
classic
septic first,
three
they die.
rule of threes. I read this in a biology book. If the conditions outside are really harsh, you got to seek shelter in 3 hours. And then otherwise, like just in every condition, seek water in 3 days, or like you can go 3 days without water, and you can go 3 weeks without food. 3 weeks is pretty generous, though.
No,
like,
no, 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 no. Water. Water is first thing you need to find when you are in a situation where you're trying to survive.
Doesn't it depend?
So-
Like, don't you think if you're in somewhere like the desert, you better find shelter first?
Even if
Well, you're
you're in
gonna
like a
find
cold
shelter in the
environment,
desert.
hypothermia will set in far before, like long before dehydration sets in.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
Slothman
if you're
gets
in a
it.
cold environment,
You
there's
wanna
ice
find, like-
everywhere. That's
Like shade or something, or if you're in a really cold place, you want to find somewhere that can warm you up.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like the climate is probably number one concern.
Yeah, the climate. It depends on the climate. Like if you're in a temperate place, and just
It
like
does.
go nuts, focus on water first. Yeah. All right.
And it's just because it's really fatty.
It's got way too much vitamin A.
Too much what now?
Vitamin A.
Isn't like the
vitamin A.
flesh of all like polar creatures just so fatty that you can't really eat
Well, I mean, there's a lot of fat. If you can try eating it, it wouldn't really do much harm. But the liver has way too much vitamin A in it.
I don't even know what vitamin A is used for.
Skin sometimes,
Bones.
perhaps. You turn yellow and die.
That's not a fun thing to think about.
Kid who turned purple and died.
Look, the man behind
What?
the slaughter.
it. God damn it.
Gosh darn.
Let's talk about FNAF lore.
FNAF? You mean FNAF? It's not freaking FNAF.
For those of us who aren't in the know, FNAF is Five Nights at Freddy's. It is a survival horror video game developed by Scott Cawthon, and it's a game where you play as a security guard, and you like have to patrol the. No, you stay in one room.
There's like, how many games are there now? Like 9?
There
A
are a
lot.
crazy amount. The animatronics patrol this place, and you got to avoid being jump scared by them. And actually, Thomas Milk has a very interesting personal anecdote about a time that he played Five Nights at Freddy's with his friend during a sleepover. Would you like to share it with us, Thomas Milk?
I mean, yeah. Okay, so I was at my mate's. We were playing Five Nights at Freddy's on his phone because we didn't have like a computer, right? So we were just playing it on mobile, and that's all well and good. This is like around the time it came out, maybe a few months after. Markiplier was blowing up. Holy heck! I couldn't even sit through one of those videos. It really spooked me to the bone. So we were playing it. It was a bit late at night. I don't think anyone else was in their house. We were playing it. Bloody, whatever. We're having a good time. I'm still a bit chilled out by it. Ugh! It's got me frightened to the toes. Then he's like, hold up. I'm gonna go out for a moment. You can have a go on Five Nights at Freddy's on my phone. And I'm like, okay. And then so he's off. And I'm playing. I die to Foxy. And I'm like, gah! And it spooks me to the core. And then, like, I hear a shuffling. A shuffling coming from the other side of his room. Behind his pillows. Holy heck. What is this? What is this tomfoolery? I'm
What are
already
these
scared.
letters I see?
Niggas.
Okay, we gotta censor that. Otherwise
Yeah,
it'll
we
go
gotta cut that bit out. But there's something behind that beanbag over there. And I'm like, "Gah, ah!" And out hops this little rabbit.
Oh my god.
Turns out, he was like a babysitting like his neighbor's pet rabbit, and like didn't tell me, and so I was shivering like a shitting dog, and out pops this little rabbit, and it's like, oh, it's Bonnie. And
Was
yeah,
that what you were
that's the end.
thinking?
Yeah.
Were you really
It's not
scared
even
by it?
purple.
What kind of cruel fucking comedy is this? That a rabbit just happens to hop out.
Yeah, I gotta admit, that is kind of like... That is really like a
the jump
movie or
scare.
something.
What the heck?
In my least favorite, or like the one that like jump scares me the most, is always Chica. You know, because like Chica's the worst, man. She like screams so
oh yeah,
much.
that one looks like a duck or a chicken, whatever it is.
I guess
What are
Foxy
you
like
talking
runs.
about? It's Bonnie.
None of them are particularly scary.
Oh, shut up.
Mr.
You were
Big
scared.
Boy. Okay, jump scares are a like primal reaction. Everyone is scared of them.
But like, you develop a tolerance for them. Like I've been encountering them for God knows how long in my life, and like I see them now, I'm just like, okay,
How in the hell?
because
It's a
I've
fight
seen
or
too
flight
many.
reaction, which
I've
you
seen
can,
too many.
can what's the word? Develop to be not as large as a reaction as other people.
Yeah, you can do
Like
that.
if it's coming from a computer screen, I don't give a fuck.
I've
Just so
had
you know,
people
I'm
on
going to post a
multiple
picture of
occasions
like a
try
bunch
to
of
surprise
skeleton
me.
t-shirts and shit. I'm
It's
gonna
like
post a
I
bunch of
hardly react.
/ I am very what's that subreddit? I forget. But you get the idea. Like the skeleton t-shirts, don't fuck with me. I'm a Generation X bikey. I like my beer, my guns. I'm not afraid of anything. My computer's freezing up. Fuck this. Hang on. I'll save the recording first. Pray.
Perhaps.
What?
Did I leave the call?
Yeah, you
Yep.
Oh, you made. Oh, Kazzy's back.
Okay, alright, we're alright. Okay.
Or
My
nerf.
my Discord froze.
Nice.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yep. Alright, we're back though. What was I talking about last time?
No clue.
We were talking about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Foxy's pretty up there, but she isn't that bad. Like, you know, she runs, which is pretty bad, but
Isn't Foxy male?
Yeah, I thought Foxy was a male.
huh? Really?
Yeah, I thought it was male as well.
I think Bonnie's meant to be female.
Chica's kind of hot though.
Chica is definitely a
Alright.
female. Ironically enough,
Oh.
like Freddy is probably the least scary out of all of them, but like still pretty scary.
Yeah, he just kind of goes ooga booga.
Yes. You know, just because you've developed a tolerance to jump scares doesn't mean that everyone else has.
No, but have you seen like the fucking? Hang
Golden
on.
Freddy for the win.
Hang on, what? Yeah, I've seen that Sims one's classic there. I won't put that on the jump
Yeah.
scare because I might get. I mean, I won't put that in the podcast because I might give some people heart attacks.
Like put the still image in,
Yeah, alright.
like and some images like the actual thing itself.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll do that. Alright, but today was a pretty good episode, don't you think? Do you think we can wrap it up here?
I think we can.
I don't know, but
Oh, you got something else?
I
you
can't
want to
find I can't find it in the gift player. But like, yeah, like look at this. It's like he just kind of goes ooh.
But it's got sound as well. Like, obviously, the visuals alone don't cut it because when you have the sound, he's like screaming right in your ear.
Well, no, Foxy just kind of leans in. That's it.
Oh yeah, Foxy's is kind of like.
Foxy doesn't lean in, he jumps at you.
No, he just kind of goes whoop.
Am I thinking of Five Nights at Freddy's 2?
Yeah, he just kind of goes whoop.
Chica's is good because it looks like they're eating you. Like, and that's like Chica's got like a little shirt that says "Let's eat." I think it's got some blood spatters on it. So
No, she just goes, and then that's it. Like the whole reason why it's scary is that like like you're watching a camera and then it got taken down and
yes,
There's also the stress of trying to, you know,
protect yourself.
battery
Mm.
going.
Like,
Lord Pet Beacon.
the scariest parts about the game are everything but the jump scares.
Yeah, I don't really.
Jump scares is like anticipation of a fright. It's not actual fear.
You don't
Yeah,
think
the
so?
fear is more leading up to the actual jump scare.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, like there's like dread. What I'm looking for is dread, a powerful sense of dread. Like Wet Dry World Mario 64 gives me that sense of dread. I'm like, ah.
But how can dread exist
Yeah.
if you know that like nothing's coming? You know what I'm saying? That feeling of dread is definitely
No,
amplified when you know that the jump scare is very real and it could come at any
Ah.
moment.
It's like The Very Organized Thief is a fucking terrifying game.
That's what it was called, the very organized
Yeah,
thief. That is a great
it was great
game.
because like there was like an impending threat, but it wasn't a jump scare. It was just not present. Then it was present, and you have to hide from it.
Oof.
That's gonna be like my favorite game of year, right? That's like I don't know if you could
Was the year
really
7 thing for us.
call it a horror game, but it's just it
Oh,
feels
it
like one
is spooky.
because
Attacked by Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
you play as
Oh, no.
a thief, right? And he has
Very
to steal
organized
stuff
thief,
from
yeah.
a house, but the owner's coming home
Mhm.
soon, and you never know. Is there a timer? I forget.
There's no time, but there's some things you can do to accelerate it. Like if you cut the alarms wrong, then it sends him an alert, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you never know when the owner's gonna come home, so you got to act very careful and shit. And like, there's this atmosphere which makes it feel all very. Makes you really feel like you're a burglar.
Really makes you feel like Batman.
Yay. You know, Batman's scared of people.
All right, great episode, everyone. This has been the 7th episode of Ashes to Ashes. Sam, you want to do the honors?
All right, fellows and fellow listeners, this has been fucking, I don't know, Ashes to Ashes. It's been all right.
Kidding me? This
We've
episode's
got-
been great.
We've got the usual suspects here. We've got your boy, Mr. Sluice, aka Thomas Milk. I've been playing Fallout 76 while this has been recording. But point is, we've got our
Did he cut off?
we got we had Slothman.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was on for a bit.
But he disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then he left. We had
Fine,
Joe
nerd.
Stain. He was alright for a
Yeah.
bit. Then we had Chaos Gaming Koi, of course, the fan favorite. Yeah, and then finally the cherry on top of the cake, Kirby B. Yeah.
That's it.
Can we put that episode in dust to dust? Because this has just been a write-off, dude.
No, it hasn't. We talked about so many great things. We talked about the Evil Eye. We talked about Dyatlov Path. We talked about the Germans in Death Valley.
Yeah, but
And
it
Five Nights at
wasn't really
Freddy's.
interesting.
Jump scares and all that. Like it was all
I
right.
think
Okay,
it was good.
I think it was good.
I mean, yeah, Ashes to Ashes is more of like we don't get anything done. We're just talking shit for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's our
This is
slogan.
definitely. Maybe I'll title this episode "I Can't Believe It's Not Dust." All right, we'll see you on the flip
Hopefully,
side, gamers.
hopefully.
Okay, I
Next
sent a
time we
picture of
get
a mouse